Taxes wasted on Minecraft. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a look at this article written by Frank Chung from news.com.au. Designer rugs, $1,000 chairs in Minecraft. How your tax dollars are being spent during the pandemic. Now, before we even get into this, the $1,000 chairs, that's completely normal, guys. As an architect, I've specified these chairs on projects. We did cover work back in the day when we first started, and I was shocked at how expensive these bloody chairs were. So, if you haven't noticed, I have a standing desk, because where I'm recording this literally is my workstation. I'll just chuck out a quick video between working. And I remember when I found all the research about standing desks and the benefits for your health, I thought, fantastic, because then I can save money on staff, because they tend to complain if you have, you know, we were using timber chairs at one stage, like all dining room chairs, or the real dodgy office chairs that just are terrible. And they were still expensive. They were wanting these expensive chairs, $500 chairs, $700 chairs, when you could stand perfectly well. And it's, you know, what, a 7-8 hour day, maybe 10 hours with overtime. It isn't that bad. You get a little stool if occasionally you need a rest. Better for your health. That's what we're doing it for, to help the employees stay healthy. We care for you. And just the bonus that I can save thousands of dollars on bloody chairs that lose their value in an instant is just fantastic. So, I mean, these are the prices of these things. They're expensive. And I mean, okay, we're going to hear about money wasted on furniture, fixtures, and fittings. Now, this is because a lot of us are comparing it to residential quality stuff. It's different to commercial. I remember as a young architecture student working, we went and had a look at some furniture. And there was an outdoor table, and I was asking, well, how much is it? Because, you know, there'll be all these companies that want you to specify their products. So they go and you see it, and they're saying 14, and I go, what, 1,400? And they go, no, 14,000 for this outdoor furniture set. And probably my upbringing and just the world I'm from, spending $14,000 on some outdoor furniture, which pretty much didn't look that different to, you know, a park bench, kind of threw me a little bit. The other boys there, the private school guys, they just didn't blink an eye. They thought completely normal, or probably more experienced. I doubt they'd be stupid enough to pay that much for it in their own office. But the thing is, or their own house, the thing is you're comparing stuff that's built to a commercial quality, commercial lifespan compared to residential. It's just that simple. Just look, even if you go to IKEA, you can see the different quality in furniture and fixtures and fittings. So still, but the Minecraft, well, let's have a look at this. From fancy artwork, well, see, here's the thing, guys. You want to get some fancy, cool artwork cheap. This is a trick an interior designer taught me. Go buy some nice fabric, some really funky fabric that's already, you know, cut it up, and then just buy a canvas frame and then just staple it around the edge, and you put it up there. You got some beautiful, cool artwork. There you go, dirt cheap. Do what Rachel does and get the fabric even, you know, seconds or cheaper out of print run. So from fancy artwork and $1,000 office chairs to Minecraft support, Australia's public servants have been spending big during the pandemic. Minecraft support? Are they teaching them how to ride a horse? I used to play Minecraft right back when it was beta, before you had this eating and stuff, and I've still got it. It's great for the kids. You know, Mina's 7 and Frederick's 5. They're the perfect age for it, and they've got it on the Xbox and they're playing with it. They love it. I went in there recently with them to have a look at it, and they've added so much to it, it's crazy. But I can appreciate how a bit of game time could be good to relax. You know, I can understand that. I enjoy gaming. I'm a bit more of a strategy guy. I'll wait for games to get a lot cheaper before I buy them. So you'll probably see my review of Cyberpunk 2077 next year, after the Steam sales. So more than 1 million Australians were put out of work as a result of devastating lockdowns and other government policies to flatten the curve of COVID-19, with the country subsequently falling into recession for the first time in nearly 3 decades. But as small businesses were wiped out and livelihoods destroyed, the public sector thrived. State and federal bureaucrats, many of whom were responsible for the lockdowns, received pay rises. Yep, we've seen that. It's just it doesn't even surprise me anymore, guys. We are not in a free market state. The government employs significant number of people, everyone. Significant numbers. Hang on, I'll bring up a video I did here where we're looking at we're looking at here, just the number of, here's job seeker. I mean, look at the boost to job seeker. 1.5 million people are on this, guys. But then if we look at the job keeper bonus, we can see here, we'll scroll right down. We add combined job keeper and public sector. So Victoria has 480,000 public servants. I made a mistake in a previous video where I said 4.8 million. You can't blame me for thinking that. So, I mean, 2 million people in Australia are working for the government. 2 million people out of a workforce which is only 12 million. Or employed people. We've got 12 million employed people. 2 million of them are working for the government. Is that healthy? You can see that they're going to be removed from the average normal person. So, a browse through government's tender notices since July, the month the official unemployment rate peaked at 7.5%, revealed some interesting spending priorities. With October's federal budget plunging Australia headfirst, Scrooge McDuck style, into a $1 trillion national debt that won't be paid off until the early 2080s, it's not surprising government departments are loosening their belts. Here's what your tax dollars have been going on. Floor sense desk. What? Desk park or desk cost a fortune. In July, the Australian Securities and Investment Commission spent more than $500,000 fitting out all of its offices with desk pucks, a hot desk booking and management system known as Floor Sense. The financial watchdog paid $565,000 for the system, which is marketed as having new coronavirus-related features such as contact tracing support and social distancing enforcement. Health-conscious government agencies have also splashed out on sit-standing desks in the past 6 months. Well, I've got no problem with standing desks, but you get rid of the sit. One thing we did when we hired people, we had all the desks, you can't really see them, but behind me, see that's all plywood there. Black stained plywood we got from a local manufacturer. We hand-stained it. We built our desks. Held up by plywood supports, pretty much, just screwed together. Nice and simple. When we had new staff member arrived, they would have to adjust their desk, their standing height desk. So I would hand them a saw and a drill and said, there you go, there's your task for today. Get your desk at an ergonomic height. You could tell really quick if someone was going to be good at their job if they couldn't figure that out. And I know it doesn't have anything to do with architecture, but yes, it does. You need to know how to put something together if you need to be able to design and document and detail. We had one guy, he had a handsaw, electric handsaw, and he was standing out the front, holding a piece of timber up in the air, trying to cut it like that. I couldn't believe it. You just need to do that in the interviews now, guys. Forget all this other, tests and rubbish. So in September, the Australian Electoral Commission spent $94,000 buying 109 sit-standing desks. The Department of Finance bought $14,000 worth. In July, the Department of Agriculture spent $45,000. Well, these are expensive, guys. Commercial office furnishing is expensive because people don't want to put up with a $500 piece of plywood cut up and screwed together, which is perfectly fine, but it probably doesn't tick all the boxes. Oh, and you have to stand it. We paid extra, so we got the Australian stuff because you don't want the off-gassing. So, for when standing gets too much, bureaucrats can plant themselves on a metaphorical cushion stuffed with taxpayer dollars. In October, the Office of Parliamentary Counsel spent $56,000 on office chairs. This is just showing that people don't understand how expensive this stuff is. Hopefully it's made in Australia. Hopefully at least this stuff that they're buying is made in Australia. I know a lot of Chiavello has a lot of nice desks that we've spec'd on jobs, but the foreign stuff is a lot cheaper. This included $21,000 for 20 chairs, which works out around $1,100 each. It spent a further $34,000 for an undisclosed number of chairs. The Office of Parliamentary Counsel has 110 employees from another supplier. Well, guys, you're getting an introduction to how much it costs to buy things in this country at a commercial quality. That's just it. So the New South Wales Premier's Department also keeping up appearances with purchasing $162,000 worth of designer rugs for the drawing room, ante room, and the Government House in Sydney. See, this is the thing. This doesn't really surprise me at all because I'm used to these costs. I'm used to how much more expensive commercial product is, because it needs to be durable. You're going to have many more people coming to these functions and these events. You're going to have more people churning through these spaces. You can't put like a dodgy shit-ass IKEA rug in government departments. How's it going to look for negotiation? And if it wears away, it's going to look terrible. I mean, we're a banana republic, but we're not quite that banana yet. Just give it a bit of time. In September, I mean, the optics are terrible. The government's shutting down businesses, destroying livelihoods, and just frittling away money. I'd be interested to see where this money's all gone. Like which companies, who owns them, that type of thing. In September, meanwhile, the National Archives spent $13,000 on furniture for its executive suite. Only a bit less than the $20,000 it spent furnishing its public gallery spaces. And while the art sector has complained that the government has dragged its heels, providing federal funding to assist during the pandemic, they've been helped in other ways. Over the past 6 months, federal departments spent $220,000 on artwork to brighten up their offices. The Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade spent $90,000. The Department of Parliamentary Services spent $40,000, followed by a top-up of $10,000. The Office of Parliamentary Counsel spent $28,000, the Attorney General spent $25,000, and the Future Funds Management Agency spent $22,000. Meanwhile, Services Australia, formerly the Department of Human Services, spent $137,000 on service recognition gifts for its staff. The little glass plaques, typically engraved with messages like Employee of the Year, Sales Achievement, Award or A Day Without MyGov outage. Really? Okay. Hillary Clinton. Funny. Then there's the National Blood Authority, which pays $60,000 to a Swiss-based foundation to produce 2 high-quality animated videos about patient blood management, a practice aimed at conserving patients' own blood to reduce the need for transfusions. Now, here's the thing. With that one, like, what frustrates me is I'll drive down to the Gold Coast all the time, and you know what? Let's bring this thing up. Let's bring up this monstrosity of a spend here. And what frustrates me is that so much of this work, that government agencies, even design and architectural work, is being offshored, is being sent overseas. And what we'll do is we'll just jump over here, where it should be done by locals. And here we have, where is this stupid bloody thing? Pimpin' Bar. Okay, so I found it. Here it is. Watch, we'll approach. This thing cost $1.5 million, and it was designed by a London firm. This is the entry. Where is it? There, the entry to the Gold Coast. This is their feature. That thing. Why was it designed by a foreign firm? They could have run an architectural design competition, opened it up to people in Queensland. Why was it designed by a foreign firm? Maybe limited to it. If the government is going to piss away money, I'm going to become very nationalistic here, and I know that's not the cool thing to do. Still, they're stealing money from us, forcing us to give it to us, then they pay it to Londoners for wanky shit like this. I mean, come on. Okay, that says Gold Coast. $1.5 million. Really? You could have got someone to think up that concept for $500, guys. Any local designer would. This is university student type of stuff, but it's the wank factor that they add to it to jazz it up. So, I mean, there you go, everyone. $1.5 million. You can see why I had trouble finding it, because it's such a brilliant entry into the city. You can only see it from like over here and over here, behind all. Yeah, so that's my issue with this. Why wasn't an Australian company used for this? You know? Sure, they could have used an Australian company to do it. Why not? Animation is such a tough field to make any money. Again, outsourcing. The two $30,000 videos, and that's not surprising they cost that much, were requested from the International Foundation for Patient Blood Management to support and promote the implementation of patient blood management and the PBM guidelines in Australia. An animated video explaining the process is prominently featured at the top of the IFPMB's website already, off the shelf as it were, so it's not clear exactly why Australian taxpayers needed to fork out for our own custom-made version from Switzerland. I don't know either. Frank, I don't know, mate. Finally, here we go. Over in Victoria, where Daniel Andrews' Wuhan beating lockdown kept school kids in zooming into classrooms for almost a year, The state government recently spent $241,000 on support services for Minecraft Education Edition. Why do you need support, IT support for Minecraft? If you can't, okay, I guess. The contract, a little less than the average cost of building a real-life house, was for the development of 2 additional Minecraft worlds, including technical and student mentoring support. The same education department also spent $281,000 on a teacher recruitment campaign PR strategy in order to help promote teaching as a modern profession and to attract more practitioners, preferably ones who have at least defeated the Ender Dragon. I don't think I have defeated the Ender Dragon. Oh boy. I was playing before you even had to eat. When the Nether was new. Just, when you tell that to young people, they look at you like you're ancient. I told my daughter how we used to get internet back in the day. We had to dial up and plug the phone in. She couldn't understand. She just laughed at me and said, "Dad, you're 40, you're old." She knows how to annoy me. Simon Cohen, research director at the Conservative Center for Independent Studies think tank, said the public sector should always be careful with taxpayer money. But this is especially true during a pandemic. The public sector shouldn't be indulging in luxuries when ordinary workers are taking pay cuts and losing their jobs. Government debt is rapidly heading for $1 trillion. GDP fell off a cliff in June, and it seems government departments are still doing business like it's the 1980s. So what do you think, guys? I mean, some of these costs are stupid, and some are just parts of doing business. The way to get rid of them, the way to reduce these costs, is to reduce the government departments themselves. Can you see that happening, everyone? What do you reckon? So there we have it, guys. Some interesting ways that your taxpayer money was wasted, including on Minecraft. Just brilliant. What do you reckon? Are you at all surprised? As always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy our merch from HeiseSays. You can use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.